So I'm a huge science fiction fan, and I really felt that I had, one more story to tell. It came from actually a long time ago, back in 7th grade, I think. I was reading about Einstein and, theory of relativity and time dilation, and it just blew my mind. I had a teacher who assigned us a short story. We had to write a short story. Before he assigned it, he said that he'd never given out a 100% mark. And of course, I'm very competitive, so I was like, I'm going to get the first 100%. But I spent the entire month, because we had a month, writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting. And I wrote a story about time dilation. Fast forward to today, and that's the kind of story I want to tell. Oh, also, I did indeed get that 100%.
So I can attest to the reality of all of that. Like, the fact that James has been that big a nerd for this entire time is amazing, and why we're doing this amazing game together, but also the competitive element of it too. So yeah, totally true story. Totally true story. This is one of the exciting parts of what we're building in Exodus. The choices you make are going to impact story progression in a bunch of different ways. Your choices are going to have consequences for your loved ones back home. You're going to see that impact on those choices in cool ways we unfortunately can't reveal quite yet, but they're also going to affect a bunch of other things. Progression options for your character as you advance in the game, your homeworld and your civilization overall, and that's going to be pretty enormous. We're super excited about that. There's a really cool element that I think we really internally are most excited about, which involves some crazy outcomes with your companions. I wish we could share more today, but we've got to save the details for later. Our vision for Exodus is to create a deep story-driven adventure that takes place across the entire galaxy. Exploration and discovery is a big part of that journey. At the end of the day, you're trying to save everything you love. That's your real mission here. To do this, you realize you've got to go out on these missions and uncover exotic celestial remnants. How you use them when you get back home is where it gets really interesting. You're back on your home world after finding a remnant, and now you've got a choice of how you're going to harvest it. Do you want to use it to make weapons against the Celestials themselves, or expand scientific discovery for humanity? That's just one example, but that's what this is about. Exodus isn't about broad open space exploration. You're on specific missions to recover these remnants. You're driven by time. It's your enemy you can't see, but you also can't ignore it. And that urgency is to get home, figure out how to leverage these things to save your planet, not miss out on what's happened with your loved ones while you've been gone due to time dilation. That's really what it's all about, and we're really excited to unveil that to players.
The time jumps are indeed story leaps, but there's so much more than that. Before you go on an Exodus, you're going to need to make some really important decisions about your friends, your family, and your entire world. You're going to make these choices knowing that you won't even see the consequences for years or even decades. This gives extra weight to every choice that you make. Your choices are going to continue to have an impact throughout the entire game. A choice that you make before your first Exodus might have big consequences upon your return. But there might be even bigger unforeseen consequences from that same choice after your next Exodus. Yes, you will. In fact, you will meet several sentient aliens. You'll even adventure with sentient aliens. But really, the definition of alien in Exodus is a little different because they aren't extraterrestrial. Everything has a terrestrial origin. Everything has come from Earth and has evolved over 40,000 years. And that can lead to some really weird civilizations and versions of humanity or other animals from Earth. Just think of how we humans turned wolves into chihuahuas just through breeding them, and now take that, multiply it by 40,000 years, and using all sorts of genetic technologies, and we have a lineup of aliens that's going to be weirder than most science fiction games or science fiction worlds that you've seen. Silicates are they're really cool, and they're going to be one of those things that I think people will remember about the game. However, I can't really talk too much about them because I don't want to spoil anything, but I can say that the choices you make in the game will have a huge impact on how silicates appear in the game. So you might be talking to your buddy who's also playing Exodus, and you'll describe your experience with silicates, and he'll be like, "What? That's nothing like what's happening," in his version of the game. It's actually pretty cool. There's one choice in particular that is just has massive consequences, but span centuries.
Oh, definitely. The game supports many different play styles. Like, this is something that's really near and dear to us in terms of the minute-to-minute experience that we want to deliver to players. You're going to be able to build up your character that suits you and your play style and supports the choices you want to make as you play along in the journey that you go through on Exodus. So we've been fortunate to be able to have shared some pre-alpha gameplay back at our official announcement at the Game Awards last December. That's really the beginning for us. There's a bunch more gameplay we wish we could share. Today, I have to be very careful because my marketing director's staring at me with steely eyes from behind the camera that you all can't see. So I've got to be very careful with this answer. But all I can tell you is stay tuned because there's amazing stuff going on here at Archetype. The game's looking awesome and we're super excited to share it with everybody. And I say super excited a lot. I'm sorry, but I am super excited. So yeah, the game looks awesome. We can't wait to share more.
And just so you know, Drew Karpyshyn actually has fun playing Exodus now, and he hates everything.
That's so true. We had a gameplay review the other week, and Drew actually said, "This game's actually fun." And we're looking at him like, "What? Is that an insult and a compliment from Drew simultaneously?" And it was, and it was beautiful.
Well, the game's ending is one of probably the defining features of Exodus in that, the choices you make are going to essentially have impacts from the beginning to the end of the game. And at the end of the game, you're going to do, well, I don't want to give away too much, but let's just say there's some time jumps where you get to really see the consequences of the choices you've made over the course of decades, centuries, that kind of thing. And when you talk to your friend who might have also finished the game, you're going to find that his or her experience at the end of the game was completely different. It's a very unique experience, and I can't wait to be able to tell you more.
Hey, Exodus fans. We're so excited you've been following along with our journey. We just wanted to let you know from everyone at Archetype, it's your enthusiasm that's the fuel that helps us make this amazing game, and we're really looking forward to being able to share more with you over the coming months. Keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be some cool things coming out really soon. We have a lot we can share. Look forward to it. We're excited to talk to you more about what we're doing with this amazing game. Thanks very much.